Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Valorant News. Loads going on right now. Plenty of rostermania to discuss, but also Champs starts in just a couple of weeks' time. The groups have officially been released. The schedule is out, which is the group of death. So much to dive into today. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button is the best thing you can do. To help this channel reach more people, please consider subscribing as well if you haven't already. Not too far away from 1,000. Love to see it. Firstly, this from Sentinels. Is there anything at TenZ official? Cannot do. He's killing it on the grand piano, but well, he's also going to be playing a pretty nice matchup against Scream in, well, very early on, frankly, in their group play over at Champions. But we'll have a look at these groups here in just a couple of minutes' time. Before we get to that, I want to talk about some rostermania stuff. We are aware, we believe that G2 Esports are making some significant moves. It seems like a lot of the guys from Giants effectively, well, let's translate this one real quick. VALORANT update: we have reached a transfer agreement with another club for all of these guys, Pipson, Meadow, and Hoodie. News about the rest of the team in the coming weeks. So we believe that these guys may be heading over to G2 and they might be making some substantial roster changes over there because we think that Keylocks and Coldamenta, they might be going a different direction. Is Nuki going to stay? What's the situation on that front? And of course, they had a good result a couple of months ago. The 2-0 they had against Sentinels was pretty massive, but since then it's been massively downhill, and especially at, the last chance qualifier, they get kind of crushed out of it by Guild and all this type of stuff, and they need to make some moves. So I guess they come into Giants and they poach some of their players, right, which is kind of, I guess, frustrating from the Giant side, but it's kind of understandable. Coldamenta tweets this one out as well, so maybe something coming over the coming days on this side of things. These also, right, we did talk about this yesterday, but George just says it just to make it very clear. This is the theoretical roster for the team. Wardell, Sub-Rose, Levy, Rossi, and Corey on the TSM side. A lot of these guys saying that, yeah, this is the most confident they've felt about a roster ever. So, well, exciting to see for VCT 2022, but lots still to happen before the next season kicks off, especially with Champs not too far away. There's also sources with seasonal esports. Complexity is set to trial former Pioneers player Scourge and former Immortals player Truo. So the pair will join AGM, Brook, and J-Crawl on the starting team. So apparently that's what they're going for. It's kind of a strange one, but yeah, Complexity, I guess, looking to actually build a competitive roster here, which they don't really have too far, to be honest. And some organizations that are big organizations in theory, but haven't really done too much so far in Valorant, definitely trying to change the tune on that one. A team that had great success before back in like Iceland or whatever, and has now fallen off pretty significantly, is Version 1. Odorous, who was only just brought into the team very recently, has now been benched already. It seems that's what sources say. The team has played in several smaller tournaments. They recently won like this NSG Winter, like what does he call it here in the replies, Champions Open event or something. But I mean, still, it's just a kind of a strange one that they bring in Odorous very recently, and now he's gone again. So I guess they might be making some significant changes to try and revitalize their team going into next year. Because we even saw recently, like Zelsis, for example, tweeted out the fact that like he's going to now be IGL on that roster, and it just felt like, you know, when you'll start making significant changes like that, it might be the beginning of the end. And even recently in this Valorant Elite Online Showdown, losing 2-1 to the Knights, right, who did make the finals, but still nowhere near what V1 were doing not too long ago. And yet Odorous, who was here, apparently now going to be out of there. And you can see right here, like at least in terms of the ELO rankings, they were really like top tier for a time, like some of these victories right here back in July. And since then, it's been pretty much all downhill. They lost a load of games in a row, and a bit of a resurgence, but not so ideal. So it seems like V1 might be making some moves. But well, here we go to the Valorant Champions Tour. The groups are officially in it. This is the draw show. They go through and, well, basically break everything down. It's relatively simple how this thing goes down. There's 4 groups of 4 teams. 2 teams will get out of each group. Then it goes down to a straight up double elimination bracket. Honestly, fantastic tournament format. Can't go wrong with something like this. So all the different teams based on where they were placing and like how they how they entered the tournament. Did they enter by like winning another big tourney? Did they enter through the last chance qualifier? That changed where they got seeded here, what pool they were in. So Ascend, Sentinels, Group C, I'm pretty sure had Gambit, and well, Group D had Vision Strikers. You can see right here at least heading things up. And then as they go through, they take all the different pools, and then it ends up that they draw the entire group. The groups look as follows. So this is honestly like some of these are very interesting because Group A, like there's all sorts of different storylines going on here. Like there's some nice battles, especially when we get out to Group D. But I mean, Group D, I think unquestionably has to be the group of death right here. You got Vision Strikers there, like maybe a top 5 team in the world. Fnatic are obviously going to be good. Cloud9 Blue, we know what they were doing, and then Full Sense as well that have been looking really good from that region. So definitely I think Group D has got to be the most stacked. The easiest one has got to be Group C. Like Gambit should have no problems here at all. Vikings, Team Secret, Crazy Raccoons, like it's going to be, well, one of these 3 teams is going to make it out to the brackets. So that's going to be good for one of these guys. You can imagine Gambit's going to have no issue here at all. Now Group A and Group B, things do get pretty exciting. Now in Group A, Ascend and Envy, yes, they should be clear favourites here. Group B, it should be Sentinels and Liquid, but who knows what happens in some of these situations. And of course, all of these teams potentially could play up against each other if things go down like we expect them to, but the top seeded squads are going to go up against each other because Liquid qualified through the last chance qualifier. Therefore, they're down here at the bottom in like not the best seeding, despite having not lost a series yet with Nevera in their team. And I mean, Group A, you've got, you could argue, the battle of the Jet players, some incredible Jet players on all these rosters. So it's really exciting to see how these things go. Of course, the way the bracket works, we'll have a look at right now. Also, $1 million prize pool that's just been added to VALORANT.GG. So I guess that's pretty cool. Like maybe they should, at some point, they should do crowdfunding, right, and add in the possibility to like the skins that are sold in the game. They add to the total prize pool. That's just a win-win for everyone, and they've done that in pretty much every other esport at this point. But still, hopefully it happens at some point. Still, $1 million isn't bad. Any less than $1 million would have been pretty embarrassing. So it's got to be at least $1 million tourney. But you know, at the end of the day, not too much about the prize pool. It's about winning the entire thing. These are all the groups then. So as you can see, this is how things go. These are the opening matchups because the schedule has now been revealed. We'll have a look at it in just a second. But effectively, this is a GSL style group, which is pretty much what it means. Just win 2 before you lose 2. If you win 2 series in a row, you get out to the playoffs. If you win 2 series and lose 1 series, you get out to the playoffs. If anything else happens, you're out of the tourney. What this does mean is it's possible for a team to just beat a single organization, a single other squad, and still get out. For example, if Envy, they beat X10, then X10 beats Keyed Stars in elimination, and then Envy beat X10 again if they lose to Ascends, then they'll get through by just beating one organization, one other roster, which you know, is basically the only disadvantage of this format. But still, it can't be too bad. These are all the groups, these are all the matchups, and it's pretty cool to see. So therefore, I'll just we'll keep, I guess, on this screen for a little bit so you guys can tell what's going on. But yeah, Sentinels Fury is a matchup first up, and then Liquid versus Crew. So we'd imagine that it's very possible that these guys will match up in the winner's side of things. This is the entire schedule they're going for. These are the first matchups on that Wednesday, 1st of December. Things go through on the Thursday, then on the Friday, and then after that, things kick off, and then it's on day 6 and day 7 where things start to get determined. And then after that, we go to the quarters, semis, all this type of stuff, as you can see at the bottom here. Day 8, day 9, day 11, and then day 12 on Sunday, the 12th of December. That's when things finish off with, of course, the grand finals. Exciting stuff, no doubt. Now, this I thought was kind of spicy, frankly, from Sentinels, because they're going to play a Furia first up, and if they win that, and if Liquid beats Crew, which I suppose you would expect them to at this point, then Sentinels are going to play Liquid. That's pretty exciting. Of course, Fnatic Cloud9 I didn't really touch on there, and Vision Strikers versus Full Sense. There's some great first round matchups here, but Fnatic Cloud9, that's going to be a spicy one, frankly. Boaster versus, Vanity and the boys, and honestly, 2 teams which could be in a pretty similar boat, so that's exciting. But yeah, Sentinels saying, yeah, thanks for the warm-up. Is this going to be bad juju to Furia, or who knows at this point, right? But they can lose and still win out, but there are going to be some upsets here, right? It's always how it goes. These are also TenZ and Scream officially in the same opening group at Valorant Champions, so hopefully these guys get to match up. That could be an exciting one. And we also have this from Ominous, I thought was kind of cool. Just looking at that Group A, right? All the different incredible Jet players in this group. You've got Heat, you've got Ye, you've got cNed, you've got Patafan. That's, statistically, all just monstrous on the Jet. So, all these matchups, that's going to be a great battle to see. Ascend and, clearly Ascend and Envy should be favourites here, but it's not going to be all that easy. And as I say, there's always some potential upsets that happen in these type of situations. It's going to be really exciting to watch. These are also, though, which maybe will make things slightly less exciting from Jaws Getters points out, Chamber, the newest agent in Valorant, will not be playable at VCG Champions. So Fracture as the map is coming in, but Chamber, they've just decided, and maybe understandably so, it's a bit broken, things are kind of strange right now, let's just not use it at Champions and let the players play with what they've been practicing for quite a while now, and then we'll use it in 2022. But again, Chamber will not be playable in Valorant until after Champions concludes, at least for the pro players, which is maybe a bit of a surprise, but probably understandable at the end of the day. And just thought I'd mention this as well real quick, because in League of Legends, every single time they have a world or whatever, they'll release a song, a music video, this type of stuff, and is there going to be a champion song for Valorant? I don't know, but you'd imagine at some point Riot Games is going to go all in on this, as they have done with League of Legends the last several years. Very much intriguing your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hitting the like button tells the YouTube gods this is a good video. Others like you should see it as well, and I've grown the competitive Valorant community. Thank you much as always, take care, and I will see you next time.